Well, hello, 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 friend, and welcome back to the Conservative Poet with me, Amania. I am so thrilled to be recording, to be here with you. It's been quite a while since the last time we've actually been together. And just lots of life updates have been going on. So it's just been a lot. I did some traveling, I rested, I'm in the process of redoing my space so I can have better content and a better overall aesthetics. So all of that is in the making. Plus, it is holiday. We are in the Thanksgiving week. Christmas is coming. Like, it's just been so much. But I am officially back because I have missed this work so much. I have missed doing this. I just can't even believe how much I've missed it, even though I've been enjoying the rest and enjoying just watching other content creators, not really having my own thoughts, yes, but not really coming out here to talk much about, because I've been really in a journey of looking at my own space and how I can better that and how I can better serve the community, you, my community, in a way where I am truly being authentic to myself and what I'm experiencing currently. And yes, this channel has been about reactioning to trending news and everything politics and MAGA all day, all that. And so I'm having some shifts in my life. And I think it's a great conversation to have today in reference to how do I present the life that I'm actually living here. Now, I've presented the life that I've been living here in the form of the political space, being in on the ground, the political events and rallies and all of these things that I do, being a part of the assembly and all of those things, being the secretary, being, VP of Pine Hills Republican Women, and all of these different aspects to myself. And I've really brought them here, not really, but I've shown pictures and things like that. But now I feel like I'm diving into a different aspect of life. And I want to share that. I want to share a job that I have, which is being a caregiver, not just in the political space, but it all ties in because it was because of politics that I ended up in this position. And so, and my caregiving person that I give caregiving to is his name is Bob, and you have been introduced to him. My last video was more of an introduction to him and the things that goes on with us. And so I feel like I want to dive deeper into that because of me taking care of Bob. This way I can bring more of a personal element to this channel of what my life is like. It's not a vlog, not per se, but it's going to be more of what's really going on in Amania's life, what's really going on with me. And because I am documenting, and it's called Life with Bob, because I'm documenting life with Bob, it's like I might as well tap into this because I'm living it, rather than, chasing down the news cycle. I am the news cycle. Does that make sense? I am the news cycle because I'm seeing things in this space that needs covering. So when I say this, I'm saying things like, and I've made some shorts on it already, if you've been keeping up with the shorts that I've been putting out there. So I've been tapping into some of the places and things that Bob and I are dealing with. So one of the things is we're dealing with a lot of the institutions. We're dealing with the healthcare institution. We're dealing with the VA, that's an institution. We're dealing with um, aid, helping the elderly. We're dealing with these kinds of aspects, having people come to help, like all of these different arenas. I think all of that is worth covering And I think it all ties in to just my voice as an advocate. And so in this moment, I've I'm Bob's advocate, and I'm going to embrace that in all of the arenas that we are in: VA, hospice, hospital, things that happens with the elderly, care, helping, all of these different arenas, and I'm living it. And so I thought, you know what? I need to just share this. I'm documenting it anyway. I might as well share it. It may not be all of the things that's here on this channel, but it's going to be a segment. So it's going to be called Life with Bob, and that's going to be that playlist, and that's where you're going to find um, everything that has to do with Bob and me, Life with Bob, in that playlist. So the first video on that playlist is going to be the last video where I introduced Bob, and this will be the second one. And I've already have some other content that we've already filmed together, because not only am I speaking and having conversations with Bob, we're doing deep dives, and because his mental capacities are still there, it's he's a gem. He's a gem of knowledge. He's not just, another veteran. He was a major general. Big deal. Big deal. And so I have him here, and his knowledge, and we talk about his missions. We talk about a lot of the things. Hopefully he won't get in trouble anymore. He's 92. I mean, they got to give him a break. Like, it's not secret anymore, right? At least I hope not. I hope we don't get in trouble for talking about these things. I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we're going to talk about these things, and we're going to talk about his life. And he wasn't just in the political space. He wasn't just, in the army. He was also in the political space. He was a mayor at one point in his life. He worked for major campaigns in his life. He's got pictures during the Reagan years because he did things back then. And he's got pictures and things of inauguration years and years back during the Reagan years, during the Bush years. Like, so he is a wealth of knowledge, and it's amazing. And so we're going to tap into that. So we're going to have segments with Bob, talking with him. And I'm also going to document some of our experiences, if you will. So experiences like when we're going to the VA. What is that like? Because I'm documenting these things, these kinds of things. And when I say veteran things, I'm talking about pills. I'm talking about mental health. I'm talking about all of these extras that now I'm witnessing, like what goes on with veterans, what goes on with the elderly. And so we're pivoting because this is what's going on in my life, and I want to be able to share that here because this is glorious, glorious content, and I'm living it. And so I thought this would be a great segment. So we're going to be focusing a lot more on Life with Bob on this channel. And we're also going to still do reactions. We're still going to do other things. And what I really also I'm going to be focusing on is looking at some of these institutions, more investigative work, looking at some of these institutions, understanding what really is hospice, understanding, because my audience, 70% of my audience is elder males. And so that means I have an audience who's going to care about these issues. And of course, all of us have parents that's getting elder. And so at some point in our lives, especially in our conservative space, I don't think there's anybody really covering that. And the reason I'm covering this is because I'm living it. And so this is a lived reality for me. And so my audience, who I know is 70% male, who's also in the age bracket of about 50 and up, which means this is going to concern you. This concerns maybe your parents and spouses and so on and so forth. And so I want to break down some of the truths and things that I'm learning in this space when it comes to what's going on with our seniors. And so I'm shame on me for not attempting this sooner, because I have been Bob's caregiver now for almost 3 years, it seems. Yeah, almost 3. So it's not that I hadn't thought about doing this, but I was always chasing the news cycle. That's where I thought, I was. And the Lord has put it in me that this is your experience, this is what you're living. Find a way to make the content in reference to something that's critically important. Yeah, covering the shootings in Chicago, covering the shootings across the country, sure. But this, you got a whole bunch of other YouTubers covering that. What content creator is covering what you're looking at? This is your life. You're living this thing. Cover it. And so this is where the shift is happening. So shame on me again. Almost 3 years of taking care of Bob, and this is now coming to me because one of the other things is when I'm in here recording, there are times where he will immerse, and sometimes before I would have to clip that off and cut it off and remove that. Now, because we are all open here, now that we're all family here, now that we're all in the know here, I'm going to leave that content, and he'll roll in here, and I will present him the camera, and we will have a chat right where I'm filming without me having to, oh my God, Bob, no, I'm filming. Now I got to cut this. Now I got to go edit this. No, we're going to show this, because this is part of, you're going to get behind the scenes and action. And so in order for me to have done this, I need some tools. And so I think it was about a couple of weeks ago, I did a reel or a short where I was saying to the audience to help me out with a gadget, a tool that I needed. And here is that tool right now. It is the Osmo DJI 3. And this tool, it's a recorder, it's a camera, it is a handheld device that I can carry with me to record Bob and I while we're on the go, while we're at the VA, low battery, it's dead. Good thing I wasn't filming with it. But yeah, so I have the Osmo, and so this is going to be a great tool for me to collect our data and content. And so I did ask for some help via you viewers with the help of purchasing this tool, because this is the tool that's going to be giving you insider content, content that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else. And so if you're willing to help me, I did have to buy this on sort of credit. And so if you'd like to help, you can, Cash App, you can Zelle, you can buy something from the store, you can send a thank you. And here it is, friends. You can super chat. Let me remove this sticker. See, now I'm trying to do too much. See, I wanted to put the, oh, here it is. There, boom. Super chat. You can super chat, and this will help go to the refunding of this, because I sort of did get it on credit. But because I wanted to have it in hand as soon as possible to start the filming, and so I had to get it. So thank you for helping me out. Again, all of your super chats help with this. All of your super chats help. So thank you very much. This is going to collect all that data. So And with all of that being said, I just wanted to update you guys on what I've been doing, why I'm shifting here in the channel, and why. Because it's really, really important work, I think, that the Lord has presented to me because of what I'm seeing behind the scenes with Bob, with the senior in these arenas. And so I think taking a closer look at some of these um what do you call them, facilities, if you will, like the VA, like the hospitals, and how is it that they treat seniors the way they do, how hospice gets involved, and the rules according to hospice and how that works. Like, all that stuff is mind blowing. It's mind blowing. And I think that we need to cover these topics because I'm living them. I need to cover them. And I think it is something that's missing out here in these YouTube streets. And I'm getting full firsthand knowledge. And so we're going to cover that. The shooting in Chicago, they can wait. Somebody else will cover them. Because guess what? Even if I put this down today, and go back to covering the shootings in Chicago, there will still be shootings in Chicago. I'm just saying, there will always be shootings in Chicago. Anyway, before we get into the next segment of what I would like to talk about, I am going to put on the screen our commercial. Merry Christmas. Those ornaments are so cute. Um, I'm gonna have a few more ornaments, not just Super Trump and my Trump all overs, but I'm gonna have some more dedicated to the season. So more of the reason for the season, our Savior and Jesus Christ, and maybe some other things. Moving away from all of the hardcore, partisan political things. So more culture wise. So this is the space that I'm in because I want the space to be inviting and bring in everyone that wants to participate in the conversation. I don't want to keep anybody at bay because they don't like, my conservative talking points, or they don't like my conservative views. They can stay away. But for what we're doing with Life with Bob, I want this to be a place where leftists can come and get help with their senior, so they can understand what it is that I'm seeing in these arenas. And so it'll be beneficial to everyone. And so I'm really, really going to be working with it robustly. So with all of that being said, one of the things I want to talk today is about veterans. And so we just had Veterans Day a couple of weeks ago, and Bob and I we celebrated Veterans Day, and I'm going to just put on here. So we celebrated Veterans Day. We went to a program in our community. It was wonderful. Bob was well received. He loved it. And by the way, this is one of my designs. Here it is. It's a Charlie Kirk. We Are Charlie Kirk, Freedom Lives. And you can find this shirt in the shop. I was really hesitant about doing merch for this, not even really for sale. I really didn't want to, but I thought this was a great message to give, because I'm not going to let that go, because one of the things that I'm going to continue to work on is this Charlie Kirk investigation, because I am terrible of me. I didn't shut the phone off. I'll call him back. Um so yeah, this Charlie Kirk thing, I'm not letting it go. I'm going to continue to support Candace Owens and her work, and for us to keep eyes on this, and for us to keep mouths talking about it. And even though I've been gone all of this time since the assassination, I've been doing shorts in reference to it, just raw talking. But I think it's critically important to not be silenced and for us to continue to have these conversations. So this shirt is in my shop, and it's We Are Freedom. We Are Charlie Kirk, Freedom Lives. And so he lives, and we're going to continue to talk about him and his legacy. So I just wanted to zoom in, being that I had that shirt on there. So here is Bob. He's with the group of veterans. We've got our Navy guy here in his uniform, and other people there. Bob had his jacket with all of his credentials and his pins and everything, very much a part of the festivities. And we met some people. He was happy to participate and be in the know. So yeah, he enjoyed being there, taking pictures and all of that. So he had a great Veterans Day, and he was honored, and that made him feel really good. And so we decided to have an interview. So Bob and I had an interview. So we sat down and talked about Veterans Day and what he thought about it, and what he thought about it now, and what he thought about it then, and how it started, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested, I'm going to be playing that interview in its entirety right now. And so therefore you can get a gist of what it is that what his thoughts are, and this will give you um, the ability to see where his mental state is as a 92-year-old. How much he's right there, he's right there. And so a lot of 92-year-olds do not have that advantage. They don't have that. And so I'm blessed and privileged to be able to do this with and for Bob. So without further ado, I'm going to play the interview with Bob. So this way you will get a good and clear picture of where he's at and his thoughts and so on and so forth. So friends, I'm not sure yet. I'm still ironing things out on how I'm going to be showing up here, because live streaming, I know we have to be the live stream. I know live streaming is where we have to be. So I'm just trying to figure out. And also, I'm having some problems with my equipment. I need a new PC. So one of the issues, so I bought this Osmo, and I went to connect it to my computer. And so my computer is old. I've had it since 2017. So the Osmo does not connect to my computer. I'm guessing because my computer is old and it just doesn't mesh. And I also have a MacBook Air. And so I'm not a Mac user. I do have the Mac, and it's a learning curve for me. So I am learning how to work it. But I'm a desktop person. So the MacBook is a laptop. And if I'm at home, I'm not working on the laptop, I'm working on my PC. But if I'm at, you know, Barnes and Nobles or I'm at Panera, then sure, I'm on my Mac. But to do like the hardcore work that I do here, I need to do that on my PC. And so I'm in the market for a new PC. And for those of you who are not able to help out with the Osmo, you can probably help me out with getting a new PC. And from what I understand, Mac is how it goes. So I am believing for a new Mac because this computer that I have here, like I've created content in this Osmo, but I can't get the content out. I can't get it out because it doesn't connect to the computer. The computer doesn't recognize it. It doesn't recognize it. And many of and I went on YouTube to find out like what to do. So, you know, I put the chip into the little case that it comes with and put that in the PC. That doesn't work either. So anyway, I need a new because this baby was not cheap. And for me to be collecting footage on it and not be able to get the footage out, because Bob and I had a week, last week we were at the VA a couple of times. We were at wound care at the hospital. We were at, because he does many therapies. And so I am documenting all of that. So I've got all of this footage on here from last week, and I can't do anything about it until I can like get a computer. So I threw that in. Again, help is needed here, friends. Help is needed for me to shift into what I want to do here on the channel. And I'm also actually thinking that some of the footage that I take on here is like really, really raw. And I'm kind of hesitant about putting it right here on mainstream YouTube. So I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a special Patreon page for members, and members can see the raw footage of what this is like. Yes, I will still put our interviews and probably some of the footage as well out here on the main street, but I think the nitty-gritty of like every day of what's going on, like the vlog style of it, that's going to be in the Patreon. That's priceless, but there will probably be a price tag to that. Yeah, a girl's got to eat and buy a new computer and pay for all this. So thank you very much for that. Now, with all of that being said, it's 30 minutes. We've been in this for 30 minutes already. So we're going to transition now into the interview with Bob in reference to Veterans Day. So thank you very much. God bless you and keep you. I'm not going to come back on. We're going to let the interview play out, and that'll be that. And we'll see you next time. God bless you and keep you.